All right. Let's go ahead and do another Bible reading. Let's at least do two more. And then I'll probably start my dialysis then and eat dinner. I'll get dinner first. Back up. So I started Ezra. So it looks like 3 to 10 plus. So that'll be the end of Ezra. And then first chapter of Nehemiah. So, without further ado, Ezra chapter 3. When the 7th month arrived and the Israelites were in their cities, they gathered together with one accord in Jerusalem. Jeshua, the son of Jehozadak, and his fellow priests, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and his brothers rose up and built the altar of the God of Israel, so that they could offer up burnt sacrifices on it, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of the true God. So they set the altar up on its former site, despite their fear of the peoples of the surrounding lands, and they began offering up burnt sacrifices to Jehovah on it. The morning and the evening burnt sacrifices. Then they held the festival of booths, according to what is written. The day by day they offered by the specific number of burnt sacrifices that were required each day. Afterward, they offered up the regular burnt offering and the offerings for the new moons, and those for all the sanctified festival seasons of Jehovah, as well as those from everyone who willingly offered a voluntary offering to Jehovah. From the first day of the 7th month, they start to offer up burnt sacrifices to Jehovah, for the foundation of Jehovah's temple had not yet been laid. Though the foundation had not been laid. They gave money to the stonecutters and the craftsmen, and food and drink, and oil to the Sidonians and the Tyranians for bringing cedar timbers by sea from Lebanon to Joppa, according to the authorization granted them by King Cyrus of Persia. In the 2nd year, after they came to the house of the true God at Jerusalem, in the 2nd month, Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, Jeshua, the son of Jehozadak, and the rest of their brothers, the priests and the Levites, and all those who had come to Jerusalem out of the captivity, started the work. They appointed the Levites from 20 years old and up to serve as supervisors over the work of the house of Jehovah. So Jeshua, his sons, and his brothers, and Kadmiel and his sons, the sons of Judah, joined together to supervise those doing the work in the house of the true God, along with the sons of Henadad, their sons and their brothers, the Levites. When the builders laid the foundation of the temple of Jehovah, then the priests in official clothing with the trumpets, and the Levites, the sons of Asaph, with the cymbals, stood up to praise Jehovah according to the direction of King David of Israel. And they began to sing in response by praising and giving thanks to Jehovah, for he is good. His loyal love toward Israel endures forever. Then all the people shouted with a loud shout of praise to Jehovah, because the foundation of the house of Jehovah had been laid. Many of the priests, the Levites, and the heads of the paternal houses, the old men who had seen the former house, wept with a loud voice when they saw the foundation of this house being laid, while many others shouted joyfully at the top of their voice. So the people could not distinguish the sound of the joyful shouts from the sound of the weeping, for the people were shouting so loudly that the sound was heard from a great distance. Ezra 4. When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the returned exiles were building a temple to Jehovah, the God of Israel, they immediately approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the paternal houses and said to them, "Let us build along with you, for like you we worship your God, and we have been sacrificing to him since the days of King Esarhaddon of Assyria, who brought us here." However, Zerubbabel and Yeshua and the rest of the heads of the paternal houses said to them, "You have no share with us in building a house to our God, for we alone will build it to Jehovah, the God of Israel, just as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, has commanded us." Then the people of the land were continually discouraging the people of Judah. All right, I'm going to pause. I'm going to try eating while doing Bible reading and then just take bites every once in a while. I've never done that before, but it sounds kind of fun. So let's go ahead and make some food. I'm going to back up and... Then the people of the land were continually discouraging the people of Judah with disheartening them for building. They hired advisors against them from building it, so against them to frustrate their plans all the days of King Cyrus of Persia until the reign of King Darius of Persia. At the beginning of the reign of Ahasuerus, they wrote an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. In the days of King Artaxerxes of Persia, Bishlam, Mithridates, Tabeel, and the rest of his colleagues wrote to Artaxerxes the king. They translated the letter into Aramaic, writing it with Aramaic characters. Rehum, the chief government official, and Shimshai, the scribe, wrote a letter against Jerusalem to King Artaxerxes as follows. It was from Rehum, the chief government official, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their colleagues, the judges, and the lesser governors, the secretaries, the people of Erech, the Babylonians, the inhabitants of Susa, that is, the Elamites, and the rest of the nations that are great and honorable. Asenathar took into exile and settled the cities of Samaria and the rest of the region beyond the river. And now, this is a copy of the letter that they sent him. To King Artaxerxes and your servants, the men of the region beyond the river. And now, let it be known to the king, the Jews who came up here from you to us have arrived at Jerusalem. They are rebuilding the rebellious and wicked city, and they are finishing the walls and repairing the foundations. Now let it be known to the king that if this city should be rebuilt and its walls finished, they will not give tax, tribute, or toll, and it will result in a loss to the treasuries of the kings. Since we eat the salt of the palace, and it is not proper for us to see the king's interest harmed, we have therefore set to make this known to the king, so that there may be an investigation of the book of records of your ancestors. You will find in the book of records and learn that this city is a rebellious city, injurious to kings and provinces, and within it have been no stirring up sedition from ancient times. That is why the city was destroyed. We are making known to the king that if the city is rebuilt and its walls are finished, he will have no control of the region beyond the river. The king sent word to Rehum, the chief government official, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their colleagues who were dwelling in Samaria and the rest of the region beyond the river. Greetings. And now the official document that you sent us has been clearly read before me. By my order, an investigation was made, and it was found that from long ago the city has had uprisings against kings, and rebellions and revolts have taken place there. There were powerful kings over Jerusalem who ruled the whole region beyond the river, and tax, tribute, and toll were paid to them. Now issue an order for these men to stop work, so that the city may not be rebuilt until I issue an order. Be careful not to neglect acting in this regard, so that the king's interests are not harmed any further. Now after the copy of the official document of King Artaxerxes had been read before Rehum and Shimshai, the scribe and their colleagues, they quickly went to Jerusalem to the Jews and used force to stop them. It was then that the work on the house of God, which was in Jerusalem, came to a halt, and it remained at a standstill until the second year of the reign of King Darius of Persia. Ezra 5. Then the prophets, Haggai and Zechariah, the grandson of Edo, prophesied to the Jews who were in Judah and Jerusalem, in the name of the God of Israel, who was over them. It was then that Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, the son of Jehozadak, started to rebuild the house of God, which is in Jerusalem, and the prophets of God were with them and supported them. At that time, Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the river, and Shethar-Bozenai and their colleagues came to them and asked them, who issued an order to you to build this house and finish the structures? Then they asked them, what are the names of the men who are working on this building? But God was watching over the elders of the Jews, and they did not stop them until the report could be sent to Darius, and an official document could be sent back concerning this. Here's a copy of the letter that Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the river, and Shethar-Bozenai and his colleagues, the lesser governors of the region beyond the river, sent to King Darius. They sent the report to him, and this is what they wrote. King Darius, all peace, let it be known to the king that when you went to the province of Judah, to the house of the great God, and it is being built with large stones rolled into place, and timbers are being laid in the walls. The work is being eagerly done by the people, and is making progress through their efforts. Then he questioned their elders, asking them, "Who issued an order to you to build this house and to finish the structure?" He also asked them their names to inform you, so that we could write the names of the men who are taking the lead. This is the response they gave us. "We are the servants of the God of the heavens and the earth, and we are rebuilding the house that was built many years ago, which a great king of Israel built and finished. However, because our fathers angered the God of the heavens, he gave them into the hands of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, the Chaldean, who demolished this house and took the people into exile to Babylon. Nevertheless, in the first year of the King Cyrus of Babylon, King Cyrus issued an order to rebuild this house of God. Moreover, King Cyrus took out the temple of Babylon, the gold and silver vessels of the house of God that Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem and had brought to the temple of Babylon. They were given to a man named Sheshbazzar, whom Cyrus made governor. Cyrus said to him, "Take these vessels, go deposit them in the temple that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be rebuilt in its former place." Then this Sheshbazzar came, and he laid the foundations of the house of God, which is in Jerusalem, and it has been under construction from then until now, but it has not been completed. Now if it seems good to the king, let an investigation be made in the royal treasury there in Babylon, to determine whether King Cyrus issued an order to rebuild that house of God in Jerusalem, and let the decision of the king concerning this be sent to us. Verse 6. It was then that King Darius issued an order. All right, let me stir that real quick. And they made an investigation in the archives, where the treasures were deposited in Babylon. And the scroll was found in the citadel of Ecbatana in the province of Media, and the following memorandum was written on it. In the first year of King Cyrus, King Cyrus issued an order concerning the house of God in Jerusalem. Let the house be rebuilt as the place where they are to offer sacrifices, and its foundations are to be set in place. Its height is to be 60 cubits, its width 60 cubits, with 3 layers of large stones rolled into place, and 1 layer of timber. And let the expense be paid from the king's house. Also, let the gold and silver vessels of the house of God that Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that was in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon be returned, so that they may be put in their place in the temple in Jerusalem, and be deposited and found in the house of God. So now Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the river, Shethar Bozani, and your colleagues, the lesser governors of the region beyond the river, stay away from them. Do not interfere with the work on that house of God. The governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews will rebuild that house of God in its former place. Furthermore, I am issuing an order as to what you are to do for these elders of the Jews for rebuilding the house of God. From the royal treasury, from the tax collected in the region beyond the river, the expenses are to be promptly given, to these men to continue without interruption. And whatever is needed, young bulls as well as rams and lambs, will be burnt offerings to the God of the heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, just as the priests who are in Jerusalem say, uh, is to be given them continually, day by day, without fail, so that they may continually present offerings that please the God of the heavens, and pray for the life of the king and his sons. I have also issued an order that if anyone violates this decree, a timber will be pulled out of this house, and he will be lifted up and fastened to it, and his God will be turned into a public retreat for his offense. And may God, who has caused his name to reside there, overthrow any king and people who lift a hand to violate this order and destroy the house of God which is in Jerusalem. I, Darius, issue this order. Let it be done promptly. Then Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the river, Shethar-Bozenai, and their colleagues promptly carried out everything that King Darius had ordered. And the elders of the Jews continued building and making progress, continued on by the prophesying of Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, the grandson of Iddo. They finished building it by the order of the God of Israel, and by the order of Cyrus and Darius, and King Artaxerxes of Persia. They completed the house by the 3rd day of the month of Adar, in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. Then the Israelites, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the former exiles held the inauguration of this house of God with joy. And they presented for the inauguration of this house of God 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and as a sin offering for all Israel 12 male goats corresponding to the number of the tribes of Israel. And they appointed the priests in the groups and the Levites in their divisions for the service of God in Jerusalem, according to what is written in the book of Moses. And the former exiles held the Passover in the 14th day of the 1st month. The priests and the Levites, without exception, had cleansed themselves, so they were all clean. They slaughtered the Passover sacrifice for all the former exiles, for their fellow priests, and for themselves. Then the Israelites who had returned from the exile ate of it, along with everyone who had joined them and had separated himself from the uncleanness of the nations of the land to worship Jehovah, the God of Israel. They also joyfully held the festival of unleavened bread for 7 days, for Jehovah caused them to rejoice, and he had made the heart of the king of Assyria favorable toward them, so that he supported them in the work of the house of the true God, the God of Israel. Ezra 7. After these things, during the reign of King Artaxerxes of Persia, Ezra returned. He was the son of Sariah, son of Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Shallum, son of Zabak, son of Ahitub, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Meriah, son of Zerahiah, son of Uzi, son of Buki, son of Abishua, son of Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the chief priest. This Ezra came up from Babylon. He was a copyist, who was well versed in the law of Moses, which Jehovah the God of Israel had given. The king granted everything he requested, for the hand of Jehovah his God was upon him. Some of the Israelites, the priests, the Levites, the singers, the gatekeepers, and the temple servants went up to Jerusalem in the 7th year of King Artaxerxes, and Ezra came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, in the 7th year of the king. On the 1st day of the month, he began the journey from Babylon, and he arrived in Jerusalem on the 1st day of the 5th month, for the good hand of his God was upon him. Ezra had prepared his heart to consult the law of Jehovah and to practice it, and to teach its regulations and judgments in Israel. This is a copy of the letter that King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra the priest and copyist and expert in the study of the commandments of Jehovah and his regulations to Israel. Artaxerxes, the king of kings, to Ezra the priest, the copyist of the law of the God of the heavens, may you have perfect peace. And now I have issued an order that everyone in my realm of the people of Israel and their priests and the Levites, who is willing to go with you to Jerusalem, should go. For you are sent by the king and his 7 advisors to investigate whether the law of your God, which is with you, is being applied to Judah and Jerusalem, and to take the silver and the gold that the king and his advisors have voluntarily given to the God of Israel, whose residence is in Jerusalem, with all the silver and the gold that you receive in all the province of Babylon, along with the gift that the people and the priests voluntarily give to the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. And you are to buy promptly with the money bulls, rams, lambs, along with their grain offerings and their drink offerings, and you are to present them on the altar of the house of your God in Jerusalem. And whatever seems good to you and to your brothers to do, you may do with the rest of the silver and the gold, according to the will of your God. And all the vessels that are given to you for the service of the house of your God, you are to deliver before God at Jerusalem. And the rest of the necessities of the house of your God that you are required to give, you will give out of the royal treasury. I, King Artaxerxes, have issued an order to all the treasurers in the region beyond the river, that everything that Ezra the priest, the copyist of the law of the God of the heavens, requests of you is to be done promptly, up to 100 talents of silver, 100 quart measures of wheat, 100 bath measures of wine, 100 bath measures of oil and salt without limit. Let everything that is ordered. Hold on, I gotta go look at this. It sounds like it's boiling. I'm actually going to watch some Star Trek, actually. I want to take a break. I'm tired. So, maybe next read through, I'll eat during the. Alright. I only ate a little bit of it. I burnt the heck out of it. That'll be good. I don't think I'm going to use a cheese sauce next time. I think the next time I'm just going to grab some spaghetti sauce to go on the side of it. Or I'll make my spaghetti sauce. Homemade one, I'm using just that. I won't add any extra heat to it. I'll just throw it right in. So I need to go buy a can of sauce. I have some paste already, so you can throw some of that in. I'll need a small onion. And probably I just do tomato. And then I'm going to bake the tomato in olive oil, salt and pepper. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to start over. I don't know if I started this one already. Ezra 7. After these things, during the reign of King Artaxerxes of Persia, Ezra returned. Oh, yeah, I did read that. Some of the Israelites, the priests, the Levites, the singers, the gatekeepers, and the temple servants went up to Jerusalem in the 7th year of King Artaxerxes, and Ezra came to Jerusalem in the 5th month in the 7th year of the king. On the 1st day of the 1st month, he began the journey from Babylon, and he arrived in Jerusalem on the 1st day of the 5th month. For the good hand of his God was upon him. Ezra had prepared his heart to consult the law of Jehovah and to practice it, and to teach its regulations and judgments in Israel. This is a copy of the letter that King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra the priest and copyist, an expert in the study of the commandments of Jehovah and of his regulations to Israel. Artaxerxes, the king of kings, to Ezra the priest, the copyist of the law of the God of the heavens, may you have perfect peace. And now I have issued an order that everyone in my realm of the people of Israel and their priests and Levites who is willing to go with you to Jerusalem should go. For you are sent by the king and his 7 advisers to investigate whether the law of your God, which is with you, is being applied to Judah and Jerusalem, and to take the silver and the gold that the king and his advisers have voluntarily given to the God of Israel, whose residence is in Jerusalem. With all the silver and the gold that you receive in all the province of Babylon, along with the gifts that the people and the priests voluntarily give to the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. And you are to buy promptly with this money bulls, rams, lambs, along with their grain offerings and their drink offerings, and you are to present them on the altar of the house of your God in Jerusalem. And whatever seems good to you and to your brothers to do, you may do with the rest of the silver and the gold, according to the will of your God. And all the vessels that are given to you for the service of the house of your God, you are to deliver before God at Jerusalem. And the rest of the necessities of the house of your God that you are required to give, you will give out of the royal treasury. I, King Artaxerxes, have issued an order to all the treasurers in the region beyond the river, that everything that Ezra the priest, the copyist of the law of the God of the heavens, requests of you is to be done promptly. Up to 100 talents of silver, 100 quart measures of wheat, 100 measures of wine, bath measures of wine, 100 bath measures of oil, and salt without limit. Let everything that is ordered by the God of the heavens be done with zeal for the house of the God of the heavens, so that there may be no wrath against the king's realm and his sons. And you are further advised that it is not permitted to impose any tax, tribute, or toll on any of the priests and the Levites, musicians, doorkeepers, temple servants, and workers of this house of God. And you, Ezra, according to the wisdom that you possess from your God, appoint magistrates to judges, and judges to judge. I swear I read all this already. All the people in the region beyond the river, all those who know the laws of your God, and you should instruct anyone who does not know them, and everyone who does not observe the law of your God, and the law of the king, should have judgment executed on him promptly, whether it is death, banishment, a fine, or imprisonment. May Jehovah, the God of our forefathers, be praised, who put it into the heart of the king to beautify the house of Jehovah in Jerusalem. And he has shown me loyal love before the king and his advisers, and all the mighty princes of the king. So I took courage, because the hand of Jehovah my God was upon me, and I gathered out of Israel leading men to go up with me. Ezra 8. Now these were the heads of their paternal houses and the genealogical enrollments of those who went up with me out of Babylon during the reign of King Artaxerxes. Of the sons of Phinehas, Gershom; of the sons of Ithamar, Daniel; of the sons of David, Hattush; of the sons of Shechaniah; of the sons of Parash, Zechariah; and with him there was an enrollment of 150 males. Of the sons of Pathamoab, Elihoenai, the son of Zerahiah, and with him 200 males. Of the sons of Zattu, Shechaniah, the son of Jahaziel, and with him 300 males. Of the sons of Ebed, and the son of Jonathan, and with him 50 males. Of the sons of Elam, Jeshiah, the son of Athaliah, and with him 70 males. Of the sons of Shephatiah, Zebediah, the son of Michael, and with him 80 males. Of the sons of Joab, Obadiah, the son of Jehiel, and with him 218 males. That's it. Okay, cool. Son of Shephatiah, Zebediah, the son of Michael, with him 80 males. Son of Joab, Obadiah, the son of Jehiel, and with him 218 males. Of the sons of Bani, Shelomith, the son of Josephiah, and with him 160 males. Of the sons of Bebai, Zechariah, the sons of Bebai, and with him 28 males. Of the sons of Azgad, Johanan, the son of Hakatan, and with him 110 males. Of the sons of Adonikam, those who were the last, and these were their names: Eliphalet, Jael, and Shemaiah, and with them 60 males. And of the sons of Bigvai, Uthai, and Zabud, and with them 70 males. I assembled them at the river that comes to Ahava, and we have camped there for 3 days. But when I examined the people and the priests, I did not find any of the Levites there. So I sent for Eliezer, Ariel, Shemaiah, Elnathan, Jerib, Nathan, Zechariah, and Meshullam, who were leading men, and for Joiarib and Elnathan, who were instructors. And then I gave them a command concerning Edo, the leader of the place, called Casaphiah. I told them to tell Edo and his brothers, the temple servants who were in Casaphiah, to bring to us ministers for the house of our God. Since the good hand of our God was upon us, they brought a discreet man from the sons of Mali, the grandson of Levi, the son of Israel, namely Sherebiah, and his sons and his brothers, 18 men, and Hashabiah, and with him Jeshiah from the Merarites, his brother, and their sons, 20 men. And there were 220 of the temple servants, whom David and the princes gave to the service of the Levites, all of whom had been designated by name. And then I proclaimed a fast there at the river Ahava, to humble ourselves before our God, to seek guidance from him for our journey, for us and for our children, and for all our goods. I was ashamed to ask the king for soldiers and horsemen to protect us against the enemies along the way, because we had said to the king, the good hand of our God is over all those seeking him, but his strength and his anger are against those abandoning him. Ouch. That's sick. So we fasted and made request of our God concerning this, and he listened to our entreaty. I now set apart 12 of the chiefs of the priests, namely Sherebiah and Hashabiah, along with 10 of their brothers. Then I weighed out to them the silver and the gold and the utensils, the contribution that the king and his advisors and his princes and all the Israelites who were present there had made to the house of our God. Thus I weighed out into their hands, into their hands 650 talents of silver, 100 silver utensils worth 2 talents, 100 talents of gold, 20 small gold bowls worth 1,000 derricks, and 2 utensils of fine copper, gleaming red, as desirable as gold. Then I said to them, you are holy to Jehovah, and the utensils are holy, and the silver and the gold are voluntary offering to Jehovah, the God of your forefathers. Guard them carefully until you weigh them out before the chiefs of the priests and the Levites and the princes of the paternal houses of Israel and Jerusalem, in the chambers of the house of Jehovah. And the priests and the Levites took the silver and the gold and the utensils that had been weighed out to them in order to bring them to Jerusalem to the house of our God. Finally, we pulled away from the river Ahava on the 12th day of the first month to go to Jerusalem, and the hand of our God was over us. So he rescued us from the hand of the enemy and from ambush along the way. So we came to Jerusalem and stayed there for 3 days. And on the 4th day, we weighed out the silver and the gold and the utensils in the house of our God, and handed them over to Meremoth, son of Urijah the priest, and with him was Eleazar, the son of Phinehas, and with them were the Levites, Jozabad, son of Jeshua, and Noadiah of Binnui. Everything was numbered and weighed, and all the weight was recorded. Those coming out of captivity, the former exiles, presented burnt sacrifices to the God of Israel, 12 bulls for all Israel, 96 rams, 77 male lambs, and 12 male goats, as a sin offering. All of this was a burnt offering to Jehovah. Then we gave the decrees of the king to the satraps of the king and the governors of the region beyond the river, and they supported the people on the house of the true God. Ezra 9. And as soon as these things had been done, the princes approached me and said, the people of Israel and the priests of the Levites have not separated themselves from the peoples of the lands of their detestable practices, those of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. They have taken some of their daughters as wives for themselves and for their sons. Now they, the holy offspring, have become mingled with the peoples of the lands. The princes and the deputy rulers have been the foremost offenders in this unfaithfulness. Now as soon as I heard of this, I ripped apart my garment and my sleeveless coat and pulled out some of the hair of my head and my beard, and sat down in shock. Then everyone who had reverence for the words of God of Israel gathered around me because of the unfaithfulness of the exiled people, while I was sitting in shock until the evening grain offering. And at the time of the evening grain offering, I stood up from my humiliation with my garment and my sleeveless coat torn apart, and I got down on my knees and spread out my hands to Jehovah my God. And I said, "Oh my God, I feel ashamed and embarrassed to raise my face to you, oh my God, for our errors have multiplied over our heads, and our guilt has mounted up to the heavens. From the days of our forefathers until this day, our guilt has been great, and because of our errors, we, our kings, and our priests have been given into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, to plunder, and to disgrace, as is the case today. But now for a brief moment, favor has come from Jehovah our God by letting a remnant escape and by giving us a secure position in this holy place, to make our eyes shine, O our God, and to revive us a little in our slavery. For although we are slaves, our God has not abandoned us in our slavery, but he has extended his loyal love toward us before the kings of Persia, to revive us so as to raise us up to the house of our God, and to restore its ruins, and to give us a stone wall in Judah and in Jerusalem. But now what can we say, O our God, after this? For we have left your commandments, which you gave us through your servants, the prophets, saying, the land that you are going to take in possession of is an impure land because of the impurity of the peoples of the lands, because of their detestable practices with which they will have filled it from end to end with their uncleanness. Therefore, do not give your daughters to their sons, neither accept their daughters for your sons, and you must never seek their peace and their prosperity, so that you may grow strong and eat the goods of the land and take possession of it for your sons forever. And after all that has come down upon us, for our deeds and our great guilt, for you, O God, O our God, have not dealt with us according to our error, and you have allowed those of us here to escape. Are we to break your commandments again and form marriage alliances with the peoples who practice these detestable things? Would you not become so angry with us that you would completely destroy us, leaving no remnant or survivor? O Jehovah, the God of Israel, you are righteous, for we have survived as a remnant to this day. Here we are before you in our guilt, for it is impossible to stand before you because of this. Ezra 10. While Ezra was praying and making confessions, weeping and lying prostrate before the house of the true God, a large crowd of men, women, and children of Israel gathered around him, for the people were weeping profusely. Then Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, of the sons of Eliam, said to Ezra, we have acted unfaithfully against our God by marrying foreign women from the peoples of the land. Despite this, there is hope for Israel. Now let us make a covenant with our God to send away all the wives and those born from them, in harmony with the direction of Jehovah and of those who have reverence for the commandment of our God. Let us act according to the law. Get up for this matter is your responsibility, and we are with you. Be strong and take action. At that, Ezra rose and had the chiefs of the priests, the Levites, and all Israel take an oath to do what had been said. So they took an oath. Ezra now got up from before the house of the true God and went to the chamber of Jehohanan, the son of Eliashib. Although he went there, he ate no food and drank no water, for he was in mourning because of the unfaithfulness of the exiled people. Then they made a proclamation throughout Judah and Jerusalem that all the former exiles gathered together at Jerusalem. And according to the decision of the princes and the elders, anyone who did not come within 3 days' time would have his goods confiscated, and he would be banished from the congregation of the exiled people. So all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered together at Jerusalem within 3 days, that is, in the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month. All the people were sitting in a courtyard of the house of the true God, shivering because of the matter at hand and because of the heavy rain. Then Ezra the priest rose and said to them, "You have acted unfaithfully by marrying foreign women, and so you have added to the guilt of Israel. Now make confession to Jehovah of your forefathers and do his will. Separate yourselves from the peoples of the land and from these foreign wives." To this the whole congregation answered with a loud voice, "It is our duty to do exactly as you say. However, there are many people, and it is the rainy season, and it is not possible to stand outside, and the matter will not take just 1 or 2 days, for we have rebelled extensively in this matter. So please, let our princes represent the entire congregation, and let all those in the cities who have married foreign women come at the appointed time along with the elders and judges of each city, until we turn back the burning anger of our God from us concerning this matter." However, Jonathan, the son of Asahel, and Josiah, the son of Tikvah, objected to this, and the Levites, Meshullam and Shabbathai, supported them. But the former exiles did what was agreed on, and Ezra the priest and the family heads of the paternal houses, all designated by name, convened separately on the first day of the 10th month to look into the matter. And by the first day of the first month they finished dealing with all the men who had married foreign women, and it was discovered that some of the sons of the priests had married foreign women. Of the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jehozadak, and his brothers, Messiah, Eliezer, Jarib, and Gedaliah, but they promised to send their wives away, and since they were guilty, they would offer a ram of the flock for their guilt. Of the sons of Immer, there were Hanani and Zebediah, and of the sons of Harim, Maaseiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah, and of the sons of Pashur, Elionai, Maaseiah, Ishmael, Nathanael, Jozabad, and Elisha. And of the Levites, there were Jozabad, Shimei, Kaliah, that is, Kelita, Pethahiah, Judah, and Eliezer. And of the singers, Eliashib, and the gatekeepers, Shalom, Telem, and Uri. And of Israel, of the sons of Parash, there were Ramiah, Isaiah, Malchijah, Mijamin, Eleazar, Malchijah, Benaiah, and the sons of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, Elijah, and the sons of Zatu, Elionai, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Aziza, and of the sons of Babai, Jehohanan, Hananiah, Zabai, and Athli, and of the sons of Bani, Meshullam, Maluk, Adiah, Jashub, Sheal, and Jeremoth, and of the sons of Pahath Moab, Adnah, Chalal, Benaiah, Maaseiah, Mattaniah, Bezalel, Benui, and Manasseh, and of the sons of Harim, Eliezer, Ishijah, Malchijah, Shemaiah, Simeon, Benjamin, Malach, and Shemariah. Of the sons of Hashum, Mattaniah, Mattata, Zabad, Eliphalet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimei. Of the sons of Bani, Maadai, Amram, Uel, Benaiah, Bediah, Kilui, Benaiah, Meremoth, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Mattanai, and Jasu. And of the sons of Binui, Shimei, Shelemiah, Nathan, Adiah, Machnadabai, Shashai, Sharai, Azarel, Shelemiah, Sheremiah, Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph. And of the sons of Nebo, Jael, Mattathiah, Zabad, Zabina, Jadai, Joel, and Benaiah. All of these had taken foreign wives, and they sent their wives away along with their sons. End of Ezra. Start of Nehemiah, chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. Now in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, I was in Shushan, the citadel. At that time, Hanani, one of my brothers, arrived with other men from Judah, and I asked them about the remaining Jews who had escaped the captivity, and also about Jerusalem. They replied, "Those remaining there in the province who have survived the captivity are in a terrible situation and in disgrace. The walls of Jerusalem are broken down, and its gates have been burnt with fire." As soon as I heard these words, I sat down and began to weep and mourn for days, and I kept fasting and praying before the God of the heavens. I said, "O Jehovah, the God of the heavens, the great and awe-inspiring God who keeps his covenant and shows loyal love to those who love him and keep his commandments. Please, let your ear be attentive and your eyes open to listen to the prayer of your servant that I am praying to you today, day and night, concerning your servants, the Israelites, all the while confessing the sins that the people of Israel have committed against you. We have sinned, both I and the house of my father. We have certainly acted corruptly against you by not keeping the commandments, regulations, and judicial decisions that you have gave to your servant Moses. Remember, please, the word that you commanded your servant Moses. If you act unfaithfully, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and observe my commandments and obey them, though your dispersed people should be at the end of the heavens, I will gather them. From there, they bring them to the place that I have chosen to have my name reside. They are your servants and your people, whom you redeemed by your great power and by your mighty hand. O Jehovah, please let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants who take delight in fearing your name, and please grant success to your servant today, and may this man show me compassion. Now I was cupbearer to the king. End of AV 51 or